YouTube? It's James with Chihammer Fantasy Battle Reports. Got another battle report for you today, guys. What is going on? So, I'm on the road to Adepticon, okay? First of all, I'm just gonna clarify this. It's been so long since I've done a what's going on that my voice was just like ready for it. I don't even know. It just was ready. Wow. Anyways, I know it's been like a year, guys. I know it's been a year. Got a puppy, got a kitten. I, started a t-shirt company. Actually, I have two stores, one on TeePublic and one on Redbubble. If you guys go purchase anything from my shop, I'm going to always put the Redbubble one up because I actually get more in commission off of that. But basically, yeah, I've been, just life has happened. Life has been going forward. And I didn't really have much time. I actually, I've done a lot of things. I went to a lot of events, concerts and stuff like that. Didn't travel this year. I really wanted to travel. I miss traveling. That was one of the big things I enjoyed the most about this hobby. And that's kind of one of the reasons I came back to this hobby. Now, one of the reasons I left was the old world came out and it was still new. The Ninth Age has fizzled in America. The last big event, I think, was probably ETC last year in Poland. And I know that the Team Canada didn't go. I don't believe they went. Team Mexico obviously didn't go because I didn't go. And then Team America actually scraped together some players, and they were kind of struggling to find that eighth player for a while. So it was kind of interesting to see it kind of like crumble apart, and it's something that we've done for so long as a community. Play the Ninth Age. That is kind of interesting to see that Warhammer return. Now, I saw a lot online last year. People were like, "Oh, Blood in the Sun's coming back. Oh, Ocon's gonna have the old world and all the So I saw all these tournaments going around for the old world, and I was excited. I was really excited. Like, oh, that's cool. It's gonna be fun to have local tournaments again. Local tournaments that I don't have to travel across a fucking pond to get to. But what ended up happening was. I saw a lot of talk, but I didn't see a lot of action. The tournament scene in Chicago, there's two groups. There's the group in the Dice Dojo. In the Dice Dojo, I kind of felt like they were gatekeepy, and I was trying to get things going. I tried to get things moving at the Dice Dojo. It's down the block from me. It's like literally walking distance, and but they were kind of gatekeepy. They were like, "Oh, we're playing, like 500-point games or 200-point games, and people are just getting started. We're doing a painting league," and I'm like, "Dude, I want to play like not even at a tournament level, but I would like to throw tournaments at the Dice Dojo, like for 1,200, 2,000-point games." And I was just kind of denied. "Oh, you can't find hours like that. You can't do that." And even though I've done it before at the dojo, so I just kind of moved on. I was like, fuck it. They don't really care for what I could provide. I'm just going to do something else. I went to Adepticon, obviously, and I won Adepticon. I won the doubles and the singles tournament. And then I didn't see any local tournaments like I thought I was going to. So I put down my miniatures. I try to focus down on my life for other reasons. And yeah, so it just kind of pulled me away from the hobby in general. Anyways, I know you guys came here to see a battle report, and I'm just going on blabbing on and on and on about what's going on. Anyways, so fast forward this year, I kind of have a moment where I miss my friends, I miss traveling, I miss going places, and so I decided I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up and start playing again. It's been so long, and I turned my brain off on miniatures so hard that this game against Phil, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Seriously, I have I'm trying to figure out the rules again. The crazy part to me is that statistics stick. The statistics all are in my head. Like, I know weapon skill 3, weapon skill 4, strength, whatever. I know without even looking at my stats what moves where and how what moves what. But all of a sudden when I'm like trying to read what the Wog does or what Choppas does, I'm like, oh, I don't remember any of this shit. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and do a breakdown. I'm going to have to pull this up on a different screen, I guess, because I'm going to have to edit it. If I cut and edit a lot, that's because either my dog is humping a pillow and I'm screaming at him, or my dog is whining like he's trying to do right now. Going over loosely on my list here, I'm going to go ahead and just do some freeze frames, I guess. But I go ahead and I take the Arachnarok Spider. My general is this is basically close to the list that I brought in Adepticon last year. It's the general on the Wyvern. He has a I want to say I just took him with the Choppiest Choppa, or if I took him with the other item, the Great Weapon. I gotta check. Okay, sorry about that. I did have to yell at my dog at that moment. Let's see. I took him with the Choppiest Choppa and Trollhide Trousers. He's on a Wyvern. That's basically it, just took a shield. It gives him a good save. Let's see. It gives him, I want to say, plate armor, shield. Does he even have plate armor? Does he come with plate armor initially? That's a 4-up, 3-up. Maybe the Wyvern gives him a 2-up. He might just be a 3-up, 5-up. Which isn't great by any means, by any metrics. Anyways, go ahead and I took 5-bore boy biggins. They have lances. Let's see, they have light lances, cav lances, and heavy armor, shield. We actually had to look this up in the middle of the game. They do have the banner of butchery and their biggins, so they're going to be strength. Ooh, I want to say they're strength 6 on the charge. I want to say they're strength 3 base, 4 some biggins, 5 for banner butchery, and then 6 for the charge. Yeah, I want to say the strength 6. I took 20 goblins, cave goblins. They have the fanatics. Now, I guess there's new rules that came out, and the new rules said that I had too many fanatics in the unit of 20, so there's just only 2 fanatics now. They do have a banner. Why do they even have a banner? I don't know why. Go ahead, and I have spider riders, 5 of them. I just took them for poison shots. I took 18 black orcs. The black orcs have the big raggedy flag. Big red raggedy flag. Jesus Christ, that's a tongue twister. They're veterans, and they have quite a few of them have great weapons and shields. Yeah. Go ahead, and I have 2. Now, these confuse me. The models for these confuse me because the way Warhall has it. By the way, this is Warhall that I'm playing on. Again, this is one of those things that I can't really play in person because like I said, Dice Dojo's down the block from me, but there's very few people who play in Chicago. The other group in Chicago is the people who used to play 9th Age, which is Fergus, Len, CJ, Joel Flint, and all of them. And what ended up happening is they started playing like bolt action and historic games and Song of Ice and Fire. So they again, Warhammer just kind of fizzled out in Chicago again. Which I think that was a thing before me, okay? Because I remember going to the Dice Dojo and buying paint, and they were kind of like, nobody plays Warhammer Fantasy, so I don't think it's just limited to right now. I think it's just always been like that in Chicago. Anyways, so these 2 manglers, the big ones, are actually just giant squigs that the guys are riding on top of. So I have 2 characters on them. One of them has Wallopa's one-hit wonder. Again, it's been so long that I had no idea what the hell the weapon did. And then the other one I think just has a great weapon. I have my wizard on a chariot. The wizard he's level 4. He has Log Magic, and he has a Ruby Ring of Ruin and the Idol of Mork that gives him a higher dispel range. I do remember that. I have my 2 monster, what are they called? Mangler Squigs, which are these triple units here, down here. And then I took a character, and I swear to God, I thought I put him on a chariot. I just saw a giant wolf, and I put it on him, and I thought it was a giant wolf chariot, and it was just a giant wolf. And I was like, oh man, you get a real cheap character on a chariot. No, you don't. You get a real cheap character on a wolf. That's what you do. So I was like, this guy's going to be garbage, basically. His wound count is not that high. That's the problem. And then I have the Arachnarok Spider. Okay? For my opponent, he has 2 units of Empire Cav, and I think they have great weapons. Basically, he has these 2 buses that he's running around, and he also has a giant brick of demigryphs. It's a very simple list, okay? He has 3 cannons and a character on I want to say that's a griffin. It could be an eagle. I'm not really sure, and I really don't even think it really comes into play because he keeps them far the hell away from everybody else. For the record, again, we're playing on Warhall. Warhall is a program that you could test play 9th Age and the old world. You could play with people, from anywhere, basically, on the internet. Now, we're playing a classic battle line. Honestly, this is Phil Karl that I'm playing. Dude, if you guys know Phil Karl, you know Phil Karl. But if you guys don't know Phil Karl, he's going to be the captain of USA for the WTC this year. Yeah, so Phil he's been playing, I think, ever since the old world came out and hasn't stopped, whereas I have stopped. And Phil, I think, won the last tournament. that he went to, which was like this weekend that just passed. I don't even know what it was. I don't know because I've been so out of it. I have no fucking clue. And that's the reason why I wanted to play Phil, was because Phil is not only a good buddy of mine, but he's also a very knowledgeable player and knows my rules probably better than I do right now. 100%. That is true. That is 100% true. He knows my rules better than I do. And so that's kind of the reason I just needed a refresher. I needed to re-understand like rules of engagement. I needed to re-understand stuff. Like you could see in this video that I keep on trying to do like 1-inch rule stuff, and that's from leftover from 9th age. That is not something in the old world. I'm trying to figure out where to place my guys more or less, and I'm just trying to get them on the table. I'm really just trying to get shit on the table right now. I'm not even trying to do some crazy strategy. If you came here to watch a game that's going to be some crazy freaking 10th level fucking version of chess, this is not that game. This is not that game. I will do that later on, but this is like I'm gonna push my guys forward, get my ass stomped, and relearn what the hell each rule is. Anyways, go ahead and skip ahead. This is a little bit different format for me because I'm used to doing by pictures and going off, like play-by-plays. But like I said, I just move forward. I move forward, pretty much just pushing them, seeing where my movement is. I think I started first, and he had way more. No, he started. He had the easier roll off. He was +7, but he pushes forward. I push forward. His main thing that he's gonna do. We're gonna go turn 1, Empire Knights, Empire Men. What is it called? Is it called Kingdom of Men, Empire Men? I don't know, Empire whatever. But Phil starts off right away with, moving his guys forward. He's going to shoot. He shoots all his shots into my Arachnarok. I try to hide my general because that's the one guy I know that I'm not supposed to lose. He's worth way too much. So he uses all his shots to go into the Arachnarok. He goes ahead and kills the Arachnarok. He gets Oaken Shield up. I figured he was going to be out of range for most things, so I just try to stop the Oaken Shield. And then he ends up putting up like a fire template up. So first off, the cannon shots. He goes ahead and he aims them. These cannons are fucking laser focused. That's one of GW's issues with cannons. Was just that, like, how accurate they could be. And he blasts the shit out of the spider, destroys it, causes a panic on my goblin big boss. We were going over what and this is something that I am still trying to refamiliarize myself with, was give ground, fall back in good order, and just straight up panic and flee. But my goblin did fall back in good order, and he's just kind of chilling back at the end of the table. As for my turn, Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. So I'm relearning random movers. He obviously has killed. I think he shot off another one of my. He shot off my Mangler Squig. And this is how the table looks for me right now. I'm going to go ahead and use my random movers. He teaches me that since the lone character is a skirmisher and can kind of move in 360, whatever I roll on the two characters on the Squig Hoppers, they could go in any direction. They don't have to, like, wheel. And I was like, that is insane, actually. But I rolled really low numbers, and I didn't get into anybody. So I try to use people as chaff, and I'm going to go ahead and move forward with that. He did, like I said, he did get that fire template off right there. You can see it just up and burning. And he did a couple wounds onto my other Mangler Squig. Anyways, moving forward, I don't declare any charges. I do get the Here We Go off, and he was like, if you want to move closer so the Here We Go affects the boar boys, that charge would be possible. And I said, nah. I'm like, I learn better if I fuck up and make failures, and that's going to help teach me how to do better moving, more or less, like just arranging my characters and all. Go ahead and let's see what I did, because I don't really remember entirely too much. Move my general outside of the line of sight of his knights. Don't really care about that. It is in the good shot range of his cannons, unfortunately. Go ahead and move my boar boys up, hoping that they could just kind of hold a flank off for a second. And then you can see I try to go around the fire template here, and I move one of the manglers right up by the knights. I don't I didn't want to like spin in circles, and I didn't want to hold back, so I just kind of pushed him forward. I know he's gonna die. I'm just trying to like set up for the Black Orcs in the future. This kind of backfires on me really soon. You'll see that in a second. And then the Spider Riders, I end up moving them to chaff his Empire Knights on the right side, which doesn't really matter in a second. My Wolf Rider, I move him way up there, ready to just go straight into the cannons, because he's fast as hell. He moves like 18 inches a turn, which is fucking awesome. The Squig Hopper, the solo Squig Hopper, he goes up this way as well. I'm just trying to set up a counter charge or a sideways charge or something like that. And then you can see my goblins. I moved them up because I'm not afraid of moving them up, because I will throw out fanatics soon, and we'll see how that goes. And I'm setting up the goblins as a trap. I'm gonna have the boar boys on the right side. I have my general on the left side. I have the boar boys on the left side. I have my general on the left side. So when he goes into the night goblins, hopefully he doesn't kill them all. I can get some fanatics out, and then boom, hit him with the characters, right? And the boars and the black orcs. Okay, so I was kind of just sacrificing that. Anyways, for magic and shooting, I don't really have shooting. I have 5 shots from the Spider Riders. That's about it. And I think since I marched the Goblins, they don't really have any shots. So what I end up doing is I do what is that called? The Vindictive Glare, I want to say it was, to try to kill off one of his demigriffs. I rolled a high number. I rolled like 11. He rolled a 12. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I get the Foot of Gorkov right there. And when the start of my turn start of his turn happens, the foot's going to move. So is the fire template's going to move. And you can see the fire template actually went through my goblins, killed off 3 of those goblins. I don't think they panicked. Maybe they did panic. They did panic. Shit. And then the foot went towards me. Okay. I don't know where the foot template went though. Where the hell did it go? Right there. Yeah, there you go. That picture right there. So the foot went towards me, but he ended up dispelling it at the start of his turn, and goes ahead and does. He charges his demigriffs into the goblins. He charges his Empire Knights. They have drilled, so since they have drilled, they go ahead and they reform this way, and then they're going to go ahead and charge into my Manglish Squig, and just didn't expect that he was going to do that. He does burn through his own fire template. I think he kills one of his guys. And then the other knights are facing this way and basically just trying to deal with all his bullshit, more or less. Shooting phase. Who did he shoot? He shot the single Squig Hopper that was on the right side, or he hit him with the fireball and shots. Then he goes ahead and he hits my Wolf Rider with the cannon, kills the Wolf Rider. He shoots his other shot into I want to say into my general or into my chariot. I don't really remember who. I think one of them misfired though. Combat. He's going to go ahead and start killing off goblins. He ends up killing off a total of all of them almost. No, he kills off 8 goblins. That's not that much for the characters he has. But he goes ahead and he kills off 8 goblins. He's going to win combat res. I can't even attack back because if you know, you're basically losing that front rank. So when he's killing off the front rank, there's not going to be anything for me to do back, more or less. I just get my ass kicked by demigriffs at this point. Now, on the right, he did hit this charge into the Black Orcs, okay? Now, the problem is, I can't close the door because I'm smacking into his other units, and he can't close the door because he's smacking in the ass of the other units. So, we just have like this weird gap, okay? I think, Phil, I actually closed to you because I think my tail doesn't really matter if I go through a unit, or is it just going through my own units? I don't really remember, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really play into this too much. Okay? But that's how the table looks right now currently. He ends up, this is going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn 2. The Knights, I think the Knights just bumped off my Black Orcs. I think nothing really happened. I think he killed the Mangler. That's what it was. He killed the Mangler and overran into my Black Orcs. So that's where that happened, right there. So there's nothing going on with the Black Orcs currently. It's going to be my turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn 2. I'm going to go ahead and release my Fanatics. Now, you can see where I released them. I put them in between the Black Orcs and the Chariot, and I'm going to throw them forward on my compulsory phase, okay? I did get Eerie go off again. Not that it's going to matter too much, but it's good to just have. I go ahead and I try to do Itchy Nuisance. We have a talk about Itchy Nuisance because it doesn't say specifically that Itchy Nuisance can go into a unit that's already engaged in combat, which kind of sucks, which means you have to predict your charge before you do it, okay? Basically, what I end up doing, since the goblins just fell back in good order and they're right here, I'm going to go ahead and charge the Boar Boys in, I'm going to charge the Squig Hopper in, and I'm going to go ahead and charge the Chariot in. I'm hoping the Chariot does some impact hits, kills, X amount of, does X amount of wounds. I'm basically hoping that I'm just going to, the flank is going to hurt more than how many goblins he's about to kill. Not only that, but I'm also hoping that my Fanatics right now kill off a bunch of Demigryphs. Okay? So we're going over the mechanics on how to charge in. Basically, everybody could charge in that could. All right. My general, he moves his knights out of line of sight of my general, so my general has nowhere to charge at the moment. I knew that was going to be an issue, but I was limited on movement to get a better view perspective. Squig Hopper goes in. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So as for the Fanatics go through. They kill off one Demigryph and do 2 more wounds. They only kill off one knight on the right side, which kind of just sucks. He made his armor saves. The armor piercing wasn't enough to go through all this armor of this knight unit. These knights are pretty ridiculous. All right. As for combat, he ends up challenging. Now I have 3 characters on the left side who could handle that challenge. I have the Boar Boy Champion. I have the Goblin Chariot, and I have the Squig Hopper guy. I let the Squig Hopper guy, at first I was going to let the Boar Boy take it, but then he's like, oh, your characters are touching my character. So if your characters are touching my character, they can't attack the unit. They only get like 1 attack into the unit or something like that. So I took it back. I said, I'm going to just let my guy with the Wallop as one-hit wonder go into his character. Basically, I whiff. That's what happens. I whiff. There's not enough armor piercing. Oh, this thing has AP3. Look at that. Holy shit. But it doesn't really matter. I didn't get through him, and I end up doing like a wound or 2. He ends up doing like a wound or 2, and that's about it. He ends up killing off a bunch of my goblins. He leaves 2 of them remaining. So if I had a total of 12, he did 10 wounds there. He did 1 onto my Chariot somehow. No, he didn't. He did it to the guy. So he did 11 wounds total. And I think he kills off a Boar Boy, maybe. Maybe. Now, this is the part where I'm telling you I'm trying to relearn the game. I'm trying to learn, like, what do my Choppas do? How much is this Cav Spear? How much armor piercing do I have? This is stuff that's not ingrained in my brain. Now, if you tell me the statistics of an Orc, I could tell you, oh, I was toughness 4, I only have 1 wound. Oh, that's my Murloc. I didn't even know they were leadership 6. That's kind of crazy. I thought it was leadership 7. But, more or less, that's... like, the statistics I know. I know my Wyvern's fly speed. I know all that. But it was the armor piercing, the weapons, like what's a Cav Spear versus a Lance? Does Armored Hide help stack on my armor? What is Furious Charge? What is Tusker Charge? Stuff like that. And it's all these extra rules that I was like trying to relearn. And it's not hard. It's not hard. It's just that I haven't played a game. This is my first game since... March or April 2024. I signed up for Adepticon again this year, so let's see if I can actually come back with a vengeance, but I'll get more games like this in. Anyways, what ends up happening is I lose by a lot. I lose by a lot because the goblins they just bled so many wounds. All my charges, all my stuff, I barely killed 1 Demigryph and did 1 wound. So I lose by a lot. He's going to chase me. My units break. Boar Boys run through my general. The Goblin Chariot runs this way. He ends up catching my Goblin Chariot, and my Goblins are going to run off the table. And then over here, close combat. I made the mistake of saying great hand weapon shield the first fight, to try to deflect the blow. And then I wanted to switch to great weapons. This is a normal rule in the 9th Age. It's also a normal rule in 8th edition Warhammer. As for this, because they're motley crew, but they're not weapon masters like they used to be, I could not just switch my weapon. I had to stay with the weapon that I chose. If I would have chose the great weapons, I probably would have easily destroyed this unit. But we stuck there for a round or 2. I only kill like 1 or 2 guys. He ends up killing 4. I do have a banner. I think we just had a tie the first round. Second round, you will see in a second. So this is turn 3 for him. Turn 3, he does. I don't think he charges my general. I don't know what that is. Oh, the fanatics running around. That's what the fanatics are doing. Um, yeah, I don't even see a magic that he's doing. He moves his knights out of the way of my general for a round. He knows my general's coming. And then I, I think magic. There wasn't really too much going on in magic. I don't really know what's happening over here with magic. Um, yeah. Anyways, over here, close combat, he ends up killing off a couple more of my Black Orcs. Actually, I don't think he killed any of my Black Orcs. I think those guys were dead from the turn before. I end up winning combat here, and he actually flees, and I chase after him, but it's not going to really matter. He's like, I'm surprised you didn't turn around and go for the Demigriffs. I'm like, dude, your Demigriffs aren't going to be there in a turn. So over by the Demigriffs, he ends up just destroying my chariot. I think I wanted to challenge, but it didn't really matter. And he basically chases me down and runs that way towards the hill, leaving the center open like so. Started my turn. I'm going to go ahead and charge my general into his unit. He decides to flee. Now, the reason he set this up like this was basically because he was hoping to flee through his griffin and pop out the other side, and my general just fails a charge. His flee roll was not that far. He only rolled a couple inches, and I was able to actually catch the whole unit with my general. As you can see, he did do 3 wounds onto my general. He shot that with his cannon. And then my boar boys down here charged into his demigriffs with the other guy. Again, I'm trying to just get a nice, juicy, charge roll with the lances. It doesn't work out that way, unfortunately. All right. So, at the start of combat, I have no magic left. I have no real shooting. He ends up killing off a couple of my boar boys, 2 of my boar boys, and I flub. I don't even really do any wounds to him. It looks like I killed maybe one guy. Maybe? Yeah, I killed one guy and, a wound. So, basically, I lose combat. I just call the game there, man. I just call the game. I killed his unit up here. My Black Orcs charged his other unit over there, and I think he had to flee or something like that. So, I ended up killing a good chunk of his points, but it wasn't enough to really make a dent. And again, we didn't even really count it up. I was really tired last night, and so we just called the game right there, man. I'm like, it was a good game to kind of just get back into it and push the models forward, and just relearn statistics, relearn moving and all that stuff. Even this morning I woke up, I started thinking about it, I should have put my wyvern here, and I should have done this, and I should have done that. And my brain was working much clearer with a good night's rest. The other issue is, and Phil brought it up, he's like, dude, I shot that Arachnarok off 1 turn. He's like, that normally doesn't happen. But that's kind of what I would have to look at. How many people are going to start bringing war machines? How prevalent are going to be war machines? Is a monster mash even viable? I know I brought this last year and I won the tournament, but what were people bringing last year, and how many people are going to bring war machines this year versus last year? Would it be safer if I bring a gun line? Would it be safer if I bring a war machine list, or would I just get stomped on by this list that Phil had? Now, granted, this is Team USA, the captain of USA. I'm not really, I know Phil. I know how Phil is. Phil is a good player. He's always has been. And he likes to make lists like this where there's just push in your face and beat your ass, right? So, I know that I could create a more competitive game against Phil in the future with even this list. But it's, it's trying to play with all the toys that you have is kind of what else can you do? You start to think about maybe I should have brought this or that or whatever. So hopefully I get a game tonight, maybe against Phil, maybe against John, and I'll try to put more battle reports up. I made a deal with Hugo for the Warhall axis. Hold on 1 second. Get off the bed. You're not allowed on the bed. You're not allowed on the bed. Get off. He's testing me because he knows I was on the microphone. He knows. Anyways, I made a deal with Hugo to put up some more battle reports with Warhall, and it's honestly, it's not that. It's easy enough for me to do, so I'm just going to go ahead and start doing them. I used to just record and just let you guys watch the whole game, but I also realized that ends up being 2-3 hours sometimes, and not everybody's watching the 2-3 hours. You guys like the shrunken down battle reports, and I actually like making the battle reports because I can add a little humor to it and stuff like that. Overall, so I'm going to show you guys some of my shirts. If you guys want, these are just the designs, but obviously you could purchase the shirts with any of the designs. I got some great designs here. I got my Evil Sun. I got my Bad Moon Rising. I got the Storm Vermin that I showed off the other day. I got this new Ogre Con one, and also a corn chosen on a Juggernaut of Corn. And yeah, I'm currently on the works of making a dwarf one, holding a head of an elf chopped up. That was based on what Ian said, and yeah, and then also somebody sent me a message from Australia saying that they would be interested if I made more storm or more Skaven stuff, also wood elf stuff. So I'm going ahead. I'm going based on whatever people recommend, so that way I know I at least have one sale. And then I go from there. Okay, so if you guys have any suggestions of things you would love to see on the t-shirts based on like the style that I do, please just put it in the comment section below. I'll start making those as well. If you guys have any list ideas, please start throwing them out there. I want to start playing again with lists with trolls, see how that goes. Start playing with I like the monsters because obviously the monsters get to attack back, and that's part of the fun of it. Versus just, but like this game, Phil neutered my monsters in a second. But that's kind of the point, right? And I might just have to like beef up my general's armor. Maybe he gets a +1 because of the troll high trousers. See, like stuff like that just snapped in my head. Why do I have a +1 on armor? Boom! I thought it was the wyvern. It was the troll high trousers. But I just need ideas to understand what could I do now with what I have now. And I'm really like Adepticon is like 2 months away or less than 2 months away, so I really can't make new models, but I have a whole array of models here, a whole fucking shit ton of models here, so I might as well just use what I have. Might have to switch some bases out, but I'll get there when I get there. Anyways, guys, again, real quick recap: t-shirt store. I still do painting for banners and miniatures. I'm doing a couple for Joe. But if you guys have any custom jobs you would like to do, small jobs, I don't want huge jobs. I have Joe's job and John's job to just do still. Anyways, and then, yeah, that's about it. T-shirts, Warhall, movementtrade.com. That's all I got. All right. Anyways, till next time, take care. Peace.